Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode from TCG 353. I'm Jamie, and today we're playing Yellow Kid. Yellow Kid is going to be getting some new cards in starter deck between 30 and 39, so I'd imagine it's going to become somewhat meta very soon. So we're revisiting this old leader with some revised Sky Island and EVO 4 cards. You can see them there, but we'll run through the deck profile. The aim for Kid is a pseudo defensive and aggressive. You can turn your defense into offense with your trash life abilities and making your characters blockers, so you can swing characters, make them blockers that turn, sack the character, and then build another character who can attack the next turn and get your blocks that way. It's a fun play style as yellow. You can be very aggressive, but the way of the aggression is different, which I find very interesting with this Kid deck. Really like the character Kid in the anime as well, so it's fun to play a character that resembles his personality in the anime. The alt art of Kid is very cool as well. I don't have it here in the sim, but I recently just purchased it in real life, and I'm looking forward to adding it to the collection. Let's talk quickly about the deck profile. If you have seen a Yellow Kid deck before, this is going to be similar. I'll highlight the new cards and the updates that we've made to this deck in line with OP15. I think it's a good contender. The games I've played have been interesting games. I've always come close to winning. Oftentimes I win, oftentimes I lose. I think it's very much a dice roll 50-50 sort of deck and matchup dependent. I don't know every matchup so far with this deck, but I do know that it can be strong into games that want to take you into the late game, because you can establish big bodies later on and heal, so you can slow down the game like OP15 yellow decks do. So let's talk about the deck. Your leader effect is this. You may turn the top card of your life cards face up, set up to one of your 3 to 8 cost characters with the supernova type active. That character gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. So when you put down a cost 3 to 8, which is a lot of our deck actually, when you put down a cost 3 to 8, that turn it can become a blocker if you flip your life card face up. Also, if it swings, so for example, if your character is rush, you put it down and it's a supernova type, it rushes, swings, and then you can restand it and get the block, which is very good for keeping like almost immortal boards. You can think of that your board is very strong because you can restand it. You don't have to block with it. You can just restand it and set your character as active, which is useful. It is useful, and you can use your own opinion on whether, okay, I'll use this as a blocker this turn. Oh, I'll just use this to restand so I can swing next turn for free. Standard cards, you got your Supernova Searcher, you got your 2 cost blocker that also protects. So if your character is removed by your opponent's effects, you add a life to your life, which is very strong, and it's unique to Supernova type as well. So it's a great card for Kid. We have 2 copies of Zeus. I was looking for generic 2K, and I think Zeus is great. You can also run this 2K from Landowano that replaces the life if you want to go more into the Borsalina Heal Rayquaza loop. I don't. I prefer the removal because I think it's more aggressive. X-Drake is excellent in this deck. You may rest this character if the number of your opponent's life cards is less than or equal to the number of your life cards. Did I read that? Number of your life cards is less than or equal to the number of your opponent's life cards. Rest up to one of your opponent's your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, which is really good for taking down pesky blockers. It's also very good as a chump blocker. You can put it out, rest a blocker, restand it. You have a 3 cost block, and it rested a character. It gets incredible value, and it's a 2K. For me, the actual best card, most consistent card in this deck is this Basil Hawkins. I hope the structure deck that comes out has more cards similar to this. Its on KO effect is trash up the 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards, which is extremely easy to do with this deck. Put down a 4 cost, and it's a 4 cost trash your opponent's life. If you want to use it straight away, you can use the blocker ability immediately. Oftentimes I wait a turn and then I swing. That is dependent on what you like from the matchup, but me, I like to get the swing and get the extra value that way, because I know eventually I'll be able to get my blocker. Depending on matchups, if I'm playing an opponent that can bounce, then I'll take the block immediately. But I enjoy getting the swing off it as well. 2K Trafalgar Law. We run the 2K Trafalgar Law so we can have more options for Trafalgar Law ACOS, which we'll talk about in a second. Nami, excellent card. If your opponent has 3 life, they take a card from the life area into the hand, and it gives a rested on to to you. And if this Nami is removed, you can turn the top card of your life face up and play a character with 6,000 power or less from your hand. The effect, you have to play around it because Kid's ability revolves around turning your life cards up. Sometimes they can remove the Nami for free. It's not the end of the world if this happens, but it is useful to keep this in mind while you're playing. If you have, say, Basil Hawkins in hand and you don't want to activate a blocker that turn because they might swing into your Nami and you want to pull that Basil Hawkins out from your hand, then don't use a blocker that turn. Don't flip your life cards up so that you can have this Nami on KO effect active. Borsellino, a really strong EVO4 card. It would be surprising to me to see any yellow list not run some copies of Borsellino. It gives you life and it's a blocker, so it essentially blocks 2 opponents' attacks for 5 done, and it has counter. It's an incredible card. 5 of the Sky Island Luffys. Sometimes with this deck, it's difficult to close out against walls if your opponent builds them up because you can trash life constantly, but if you can't break through for the final hit, it is difficult, whereas this Sky Island Luffy specializes in breaking through. 2 cost of Blocker Law. Very easy card to play, good on curve, good tempo, and it's great fodder for this ACOS Law. One of the new additions from OP15 that I think makes this deck very consistent, much more consistent, is this Rouge, which effect is this. On play, you may trash 1 Supernova's card from your hand, and this character gains Rush during this turn, which is great for Kid's ability. This is a Kid card, 100%. You trash a card from your hand, gain Rush, and then you can set it up as a blocker. So it's a Rush and a 7k blocker on the same turn, which is very, very strong. You activate main, you may turn 1 card from the top of your life cards face down. And for example, this Nami effect I was telling you guys about with the on KO, that can be negated with a Rouge. You can, from a previous turn, if your life card is still flipped up, you can play a Rouge down, flip that back down, and then you can activate your leader ability again. Oftentimes and sometimes, if an opponent knows the matchup, they might starve you to leave that life card face up, so you can't activate leader ability. So that's where this Rouge comes in and is so useful for the deck. Really now, very strong card. We got our boss monsters now. If you're familiar with Cage, you'll know these cards. Trafalgar Law, heal 1, reveal a supernova type character from your hand, add it to the top of your life cards face down. Then if your leader is supernova type, give up the 1 rested on to your leader. The 1 rested on is nice for a swing. The heal is excellent. And this can also be a blocker with our leader ability, which is really strong. A cost, 6k rush, 1k counter. A very well-rounded card when you read its ability, which is you may trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. Then play up to 1 Trafalgar Law with a cost of 7 from your hand. And we are running 10 Trafalgar Laws, not including this law. So there is a pretty high chance that your hand will always have a law in it. Say you trash this card and gain a life and play this law, then an 8 on turn can look like a 6k rush, trash 1 card in your hand and this character, play down your Trafalgar Law, heal again, so you heal 2, 6k rush, set up a 7 cost 9k body, and put a rested on your leader, so swing another 6k, and you have a 9k blocker on board. It's very, very strong for tempo. This is how this deck can be aggressive as well with little rushes like this, because we want to whittle down card hand size as well. The big boss and really the best card for this deck for late game is this useless Captain Kid. You may rest this character and trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards on play. So just trash an opponent's life. It's very, very good for 6k power leaders, and it's very good for leaders that have big blockers and big bodies. End of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life, draw 1 and trash 1 card from your hand. Really useful for filtering, for digging for your laws maybe, and for digging for 2Ks and removing some fodder that we have. I mean, we run not so many bricks, 10 bricks, but it's still useful to cycle through them. You can cycle through for your Borsalinos also. Slam Gibson is a card that I like to play because it's Supernova exclusive, and also it's 3k counter for the leader, which is useful to have defensively. So the main ability, you may rest 5 of your Dawn and activate this, so it costs 6 Dawn in total. If your leader has the Supernova type, place up to 1 character with a cost of 9 or lower into the top of the owner's life cards face down. This is really useful for your OP14 matchups. So your Big Mihawk, your Big Croc, your Big... Oh, what's her name? Hancock. 9 cost, 8 cost. You can put these to the bottom of the life cards face down. Very, very useful. You can also do this for Sabo against Sabos as well in the Lucy matchup. It doesn't do much for the NL matchup, which is a shame, but what can you do? You can't have everything. That's the rundown of the deck. I hope I talked through it comprehensively enough. I do enjoy this deck. I hope you enjoy watching the games. If you do, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing, because I do post very often and I enjoy this. I love doing it and I'd appreciate the support. So we're going to go into games now. We're going to see how Yellow Kid does in the OP15 meta and hopefully have a bit of fun while doing it. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, so we're gone into a blue-purple Luffy, Snake Mano. We are going to go second. Look at our hand. We have a Searcher. This is a great hand. Okay, and we're going to be able to show off some of the tech I was talking to you guys about. So we're going to keep this, and we are going to wait for our opponent to pass the turn over to us. We'll be searching, looking for maybe an 8-drop. Okay, we have options here. The 8-drop is really nice on the curve we're on, so we're going to take that. And do nothing else. Thank you very much, and cancel that. So the 8-drops are really good, as I said earlier, into 6k power leaders. We'll be allowed to deny them, which is very strong for us. We'll take this hit, it's no problem. And you're... Okay. It didn't dawn on me that card had a trigger, so I had to double check what it actually was doing for me. We have a very defensive hand at the moment, which is great. We're going to use our leader ability straight away here, because our next turn is actually more power. You know what? We're going to take this. This is cool. Look at this. We're going to take this. And so next turn we're going to play Nami. Check this out. Next turn we're going to play Nami. Give our leader 1k. Opponent takes 1 life. Swing 6. Okay, he ramps. And swing another 6. Okay. And we end turn, use card action, set this back up. So now we have essentially from Blue Purple Luffy taken 2 life from them in 1 turn, which is very rare against this leader, especially that it's 6k power and such. See, his AK doesn't bother me all that much because I know I'm going to block, and I kind of want to take the damage that he has. So we have options here, and some of our options are playing our 8-cost kid and just burning a life, or we can remove this from life so that we can set our Rouge up, or Rouge is gone. No, our Rouge up for a blocker, and swing 8 and set him as a blocker for 7 and get rid of this. This is going to be problematic if we put down the kid, so we are going to do exactly that. Get rid of you, play a Rouge out, select 1 card to trash. We'll trash the... Yeah, we'll trash the Basil Hawkins, because when you think about it, we're going to be trashing his life with Kid next turn anyway. We actually don't need that. And... okay, that was a misplay on my end. Oh, I didn't need to trash Basil Hawkins there. You have to have a life card face up in order to attach the one rested down. And I never saw that come up before. My bad, mistakes were made. I don't think it's going to make altogether that much of a difference for us, especially if he just swings a raw 6. Okay. Well, with this, I know we're going to be taking some weird 9 drop Sanji stuff, probably 9 drop into that promo. So I'd rather just take it because I want him to swing into the Rouge. Yeah, thank you very much. I want him to swing into that, to be truthfully honest. And we can rush him actually again, depending on what he has. We have a lot of counter, so I think it's wiser to rush him. But let me double think now, or let me think again rather. Because I can't set this as a blocker if I play it onto the board now, because you see we have our life card face up. If I play a Rouge, I can swing 7, 8, 8. And I have a blocker, and I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to trash this kid. So I'll swing 7 with the Nami, because he expects the Nami to swing. He might not expect leader. And I think we're feeling good in this game. The crackback is going to be legendary. If we can survive, that would be good. There's a chance we don't. I mean, there's no blocker, so I don't think the value of sending out Luffy as a rush is great. So we're going to stay on the line that we're on. 3 down here. Swing 8. Of course he has events, but it could be a bluff. And what we're checking here is to see if that's true. High chance of a Gum Gum Giant coming down. Okay. He draws, filters out some of his hand. Select 1 card to trash, yes. Swing 8 here. Good, very good. Again, turn, use card action, and send you up. Okay, so he can take out my Nami freely enough now, which is fine. If he swings into the Nami, that just means that's 1 less leader swing that he's given us. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 K counter. We know we'll have 1 K counter coming up. His split could be nasty in all fairness. He could go a lot of 9s, which would be scary. And this one I think will 2K. Because otherwise we could get 4, which we can't counter yet. 2K. And take the next, which I think will be 7. Okay. Yeah, we'll take this. Two, 4, 1, and he can swing 2 more times. But he could actually swing with his Otama and win, which we do have to keep in mind. If we take this, we have a blocker still. I think he's going to play a promo Roger. Unless we take this. 2, 4, 1. I think we have to take this. Having 1 down up would have been useful. The more you know. And we cannot take the block here for obvious reasons. 241. I think we might, if this guy has some ideas in his head. Yeah, I think he's gonna swing 8 Otama, which is humiliating to get beat by a 0 cost character, but look, what can you do? Good games. I think we were close. I don't know if mistakes were made. Keeping one up would have been one down up wouldn't have actually saved us because it was a 3k counter in hand. He was very bricky, but I suppose he could have filtered it out. The Arouge could have been a misplay, and we could have got the life trashed rather, but we wouldn't have had a blocker up. Yeah, good game to our opponent. Good game to our opponent. That's for sure. Maybe not taking his 7s were good as well. Yeah, I think our opponent just played better than us in that instance. Let's rock into our next game now, okay? Cool. It's not every day you see a Red Shanks in OPTCG sim. Our curve is okay with this, but we'd be waiting a while. I'd like to start it off earlier, and we're very glad we did that. We have our Basil Hawkins, which is just an incredible strong card, and we have a 246. This is a very nice hand. We're happy with this. Guess the curve. If you guys are watching, just imagine what the brain process of me is going into this. What am I going to do? There's no point in swinging. Oh, look. Sometimes it's just more of a skill check than anything. Maybe he doesn't use the leader effect because he wants to draw. Let me put you down. No. See, we're not going to use it here because we're not. Okay, don't ask me why. The logic behind it is I do want to keep the life card face up because I want to use this next turn, and I might want to counter this turn, which I am countering, as you can see. Maybe a lucky Roo. No, it's this guy. Okay, so our options are we can get rid of this guy because I know he's pesky, but he trashes cards from hand, and I mean that's not great for him either. So look, we'll go with the play that we said we always would. So we'll attach one down here, swing 6. 6 is out of the way, of course, because his leader ability is going to be very annoying otherwise. Okay. Yeah. That works for him too. Opponent takes 1 life and we attack 6. If he takes this is a very profitable turn for us. I don't think he should. And if he does, I think he doesn't have 2Ks. Yeah, okay. I don't believe he has 2Ks. Maybe he does now. And we're going to burn that life, which is very strong. And then next turn we're going to rush, heal, and set down a 7k blocker. And we're going to set up... No, we won't have a supernova that needs... we won't have a supernova in hand that can be set as a blocker. We'll just have a blocker. He's 7k? What? Oh, he has a Zoro. Alright. And he didn't swing. Okay, well then next turn we're going to have 2 blockers, I guess. Yeah, so we're going to postpone this turn. We're going to not do that for a little while, and we're just going to trash his life. And enter. Select 1 card to trash. Yeah, we'll trash one of these laws. So we have so many laws in our deck. If we're hoping to try and get fodder for this law again, I'm sure we'll draw into it. Whereas Sky and Luffy, although it is a brick, it is just a very strong card for us. He's going to character rush. Oh wow. Okay, he's gonna have her kid. That's fine. Yeah, and if... Yeah, well, yeah, he has it for sure. He should have swung here, because that can't swing now this turn. Maybe he knows that, I'm not sure. And he's choosing to starve me, which I just think is a bit ridiculous. He's gonna have to swing at me eventually, you know. I don't fully understand the logic there. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is kind of cool. I'll show you now. We're going to play our Zeus, use card action, take top life, put it into our hand, KOU. So now we can flip our card face up, and then we will play our... Will we play our Law? I really want the value of the Rush. That's why I'm considering it. So we won't. We'll play this out. We'll select the card to trash. The beige is our own real option. Yeah, the beige is our only real option. And we will attach 2 here. Swing 9. And delete. Which I think is a very strong turn. He can leader ability 2k, that's fine. I mean, we're getting cards out of his hands and we haven't swung that lead in a while. But you see the power of Kid. Okay, nice. You see the power of Kid, right? Because he's been 7k for maybe 2 turns now, and we haven't really had to swing, but his life is already at 2. And that's just from turn 2, turn 3 turns. And we still have, which I just noticed there, and I forgot all about, we still have this Basil Hawkins on the field. So we'll play this, we'll play the Basil Hawkins next turn. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Give him the Nami. Take this. And we'll give him our blocker. Okay, so swing with a 6 first because we want him to blow it up. He probably thinks he's all smart with this lucky root play to test us to flip this up. Okay, he takes. I was mathing too hard, I think. We'll play down our searcher, I guess. Hopefully get this. Sam Gibson, thank you very much. And this is when we start to rock. Swing 6. 6s and 5s to me, it's all the same. I mean, I'm going to be swinging 5s, you know that. But I think it's all the same currently because he has his leader ability in the back pocket. So every swing I ask him, do you want to use your leader ability now? He knows in his head he has them for 5Ks, but it's the same in the long term. So we're just asking questions now. Use card action. Yeah. Oh, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. It's this here, when we gain a life. And we can flip this up. Whoa! When you're good, you're good. Heal 1, then play Trafalgar Law. Check this out. We'll trash you. Heal, gain a life. Here. This is a nutty turn. An absolutely nutty turn. And yeah, I mean, swing 5. Swing 5 and he can KO this, so no, we'll swing 6. We'll swing 5 here, yeah. Because he can KO it if he wants. It's going to be a blocker, so he probably should. Or he can. It's totally up to him. And we'll have 3 blockers, 4 life, 3k in the hand, and we're going to take a bunch of life. To be honest, I would love to take 3 hits next turn so that we can play this out next turn and do some very cool stuff again. And we'll swing 6. Or we don't really have to, do we? Yeah, we'll swing 6 because the starve would be better now that I think about it. So Decisions, right? We still get a block though. So yeah, we'll swing 6. And he, like, the opponent still has to make a decision. Like, he should definitely take this because the life is going to be trashed. Okay. For whatever reason, I thought he could only trash Basil Hawkins. Oh wow. And the tables have turned. We're gonna take these hits still. Okay. So, do you think I can win if I go full in and I go 7 and 9? I'll swing 7 here, not see. If he blocks it, no, I can't. So let's not bother. Player forecast, I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 life, 3, 1, 7, 7. Like, it seems I have 2 bricks in hand, so I can imagine that. Like, I definitely don't want to give him the Zoro again in hand. That would be a very bad idea. And I kind of want to keep that 2k, so let's do this. More than likely, he'll swing into the lot first, and that's fine. And maybe he'll starve again, which is really boring. Boring for me. I mean, like, it's a valid game plan for him. So we're not mad. It's just disappointed. Yeah, we can say disappointed. No, we're gonna keep the. So we can swing. There's 7 here and 9. We can swing 2 8s. Oh, we'll be giving him a Zoro though. The Zoro will not have character rush. So let's swing. And we hope we get a blocker off them, because we need it. Okay. I hope you guys are liking this so far, by the way. Kid's cool deck, right? These games are, for me, they're interesting to play because I can see how my opponent is learning the matchup as they're playing, which is cool. This opponent, for example, is really doing a good job of starving me, and that's just wise, I guess. If he can start mirroring and playing Shanks 10 costs back to back, I'm in trouble. That's for sure. If he swings 3 times at my life now, I'm in a goodish spot, I believe. Yeah, okay, he has that. No blocker. So I have trash fodder now. That's what that kid is in my hand. I should probably do the math a bit more here now. So he has 3 swings. He'll probably want to keep this blocker up, so he could just go 5 and that 7, 4 and that 9, 13. 7 we can't block, so he swings. 7 we can't block. 9 we can't counter, sorry. But I think we're right because we have that blocker up. Yeah, we're right because we have that blocker up. And next turn we can rush, we can heal to set up a blocker, or set up 2 blockers. So we might be able to stall for another turn after this as well. His board is menacing though. That is absolute fact. His board is menacing. He's a 6. Oh, that does change things, doesn't it? That means he can swing. Oh, he can swing 3 here for a 7 and 6 here for an 8. And we can't counter out of a 7 or an 8, so we sort of have to counter out of this one. I don't know what he's thinking though. He could. I don't know what he's thinking. But if he's after doing the math in his head, he wins. I know that much. But for him, it is a risk to swing with his Uda. It definitely is. Now he has options, so he can swing 12 and 13, or yeah, 12, 7 and 9. Something like that. 7, 3. Damn, yeah. No, I can say 7, 8 and 12. Can't counter out of 7. If this is a 2K, we can counter out of an 8. And block it out to 12. And if that happens, we win, because we can put 4, 4, 7 maybe. I don't know if we win after that. But he's doing the right line anyway. This is exactly what we don't want to see. So if you're watching, cross your fingers, okay, that we get a 2K. Come on. We will absolutely not play that. 12, give him the blocker. Give him a bit of a wink here, because he might want to swing it. No! He put down another blocker. Alright, we can... Ooh. Clutch Drake. We can rest this guy, okay? 3. Oh, the leader ability as well. Okay, but that is the line anyway. Or we can... No, we can't handle the crackback again. We can... No. I think we have to go for game. That's for sure. Oh, our life is equal. Less than or equal to. Okay, so this is definitely the line. 100% this is the line. And we have 7 left, so we can swing 7, 7. And hope that our opponent doesn't have a 2K. Yeah, that's what we'll do. If he didn't have a lead, if he had swung with the Uda, we would have won, for sure. See, our other option of 8, heal twice, block. So it would have been block, block, healed, healed. And then counter in hand of 2K for whatever he would have cracked with this. Yeah, he could have mathed us out again. And he would have had 2 blockers up, so our situation would have been the same. We would have prolonged the inevitable. He could be completely bricked up. No, he's not. What happened there? He counted out. Womp. And we'll attack. And we'll say GG. And oftentimes when I say GG, when I swing... I did the math wrong as well. I thought we could swing 7. And we'll concede. What did he have? He had 1K. He just pulled into that 1K there. So he had... Yeah, he had... He just had it. The Shanks player just had it, and we didn't. It was a close game. I hope you liked that game. Let's go into the deck. My final thoughts on this kid deck. It's strong in the early game, 100%, and there are some really nice and satisfying combos you can play off. You've seen there, for example, I healed, was it 3 times in one turn, which is something I've, of course, it's yellow specific, and it's with this new Borsellino that's possible, but I mean, That's really, really strong. And there's turns in early game where you can get two life out of your leader's hand, and one of them is trashed, which is unique to Kid as well. So the early to mid game aggression is very strong. It's when these games go a bit longer that you start losing the flow of it a little bit. As you saw from those games there, I mean, the Shanks just starved us, wore us down, put down his big bodies, and they were just bigger than ours. There's arguments to play big bodies like that to combat it. One list that I ran previously was with this 10 cost kid. You heal and you rush, which is really nice because you'll heal and you'll be able to set up a blocker. And the rush is nice to clear, so you get a bit more control. I'd run two of that if you're running it. Um, of this deck, what would I run it over? I'd probably run it over Sky and Luffy. It didn't come up today. Maybe it could have, but on the curve that you're on, I like for going even, which I'd prefer to go with Kid mostly all the time. Urouge is it's not as strong, of course, but it is more consistent for the leader ability, and the leader ability is why you're playing the deck, isn't it? We also have this Egghead Luffy that I've ran in some decks, and it's fun, it's cool. 12k blocker, so it can stay up. But the trashing from your hand kind of does hurt Kid because you can get starved easily. So, I mean, your hand size isn't fantastic in the beginning anyway. And also, 7k leader is useful, so that's a great thing. That's a point for this Monkey D. Luffy. It didn't feel totally strong. For like compare this to the Ace. Ace has heal and rush and allows you to activate leader ability, guaranteed for a 10 drop. Whereas this Monkey D. Luffy gives you a blocker and a 7k, which is strong. It is definitely strong. And you have a 12k body afterwards. The only thing, it doesn't complement their leader ability so well. So the actual synergy with the deck that we're running isn't great. It's just this is objectively a good card, especially for yellow, especially if you're looking for a 10 drop boss monster. In my opinion, what we have is very good in terms of boss monsters. Like this kid is a very, very good card in this deck, and you've seen that this how this combo can come to life and be very strong. The Nami is excellent in this deck, and obviously the Nami and the Borsellino combo is very strong. Just in general, I guess, with these new sets, the cards that are coming out are very good. So the more of those cards that you can use, probably the more benefit you can get out of the deck. Even this Trafalgar Law is a newer card, and I mean, it's excellent in this deck. For our events, Slam Gibson did come up, but you saw how it worked where we gave them back the Zoro. I don't think the Zoro, he didn't play the Zoro back down, so the 7k didn't come back up. So it was useful, and we saved ourselves, I think, another turn, because if they had that 9k swing, we would have lost a turn earlier. Did we prolong the inevitable? I don't think so. Picture this: you put a Slam Gibson down, and you put, say, their 8 cost Croc or their 7 cost Zoro, like we did in that Shanks matchup. You put that down, and then you trash it. Like you trash it with your Basil Hawkins. You can put it to the top of the life. You can use this for 6 down, put their 9 drop to the top of their life. Then, if you have a Basil Hawkins in hand, or if you have one on the field, you can activate it as a blocker, and then you will just trash their big drop so they can't access it. That's so useful. That's really, really, really useful. They had that nice little bit of tech today where they were able to trash our Basil Hawkins with their Ben Beckman. That's just a Shanks thing. I mean, you can't be angry at that. Shanks is a cool deck to see, so you can't really hate on the deck list for what it is. If they didn't have that card, for example, we could have trashed their last life, and rather than swinging 7-6 at the end, we could have swung. No, I think it was still 7-6 because they had that blocker up, isn't it? So yeah, that would have still been the case, but it would have been more impactful. I think at the very least it would have looked. Yeah, it would have been stronger. Could they have gotten away with it? They had 1k and leader ability, the 2k and winner. We could have won. We could have won, yeah, just by 1k counter because they were so bricked up. That was that matchup. My point is that this Slam Gibson is useful, and the 3k counter was used, so it's a great card. Would I run 4 of it? I'd consider it. Though this deck is pretty strong in how it is. What would I take out and replace for it? Maybe I'd drop this down to 3 and I'd drop this down to 1. I think that would be strong. Or I'd drop this down to 3 and I would drop this down to what else? I'd drop the Luffy down to 1 and I'd run this up to 4 because having 3k counter for this deck will be useful. And I mean, you could also picture that you could just stack Sam Gibsons onto an opponent's field. There's also the option of this archetype here for Kid and for Yellow Supernova in general, which is the option to put opponent's characters in life and then trash. This Jewelry Bonnie, for example. If your leader is Supernova type and your life total is equal to or less than your opponent's, place up to one of your opponent's cost 4 lower characters on the top or bottom of their life face up. So Lucy plays Cavendish, put Cavendish on the top of the life, and then trash it with your Basil Hawkins, for example. Well, really strong. It also allows certain cards to come online a bit better. Like you could even play 9-drop Yamato if that hasn't ran out. Okay, that's out of rotation, so you're not going to be playing 9-drop Yamato. The options and the flexibility for the deck are there for the building. I think this is very close to core. The cards that can be changed out is probably Sky and Luffy, and some of the ratios can change as well. But pretty much this is the core deck that you're going to be seeing for Yellow Kid until this new structure deck cards come out. And once they come out, we'll see what the playing style is determined to be. I'd imagine it's a lot more on KO effects and drawing, because this is one of the limitations of the deck. More cards like Basil Hawkins will be very, very useful. And if there is an inherent Kikunojo, that would be on KO, add a card from the top of your deck to your life cards. That would be very useful for Kid as well. Especially with some of the combo pieces, you may be able to heal very strongly in this new structure deck. This is all speculation. Currently, this deck list is strong. The win rate is high on some of the stats that I've been reading, and this is as close to that core and stable deck as you're going to get. So if you do want to play Kid, I'd recommend copying this deck list. I'll put it into the description, and altering little bits that you prefer of the playing style, and enjoying your games. I mean, they were fun games today. I hope you enjoyed them. I enjoyed playing them. If you did enjoy them, leave a like. It's very useful for me just to know what you do like and what you don't. Consider subscribing. I do post very often, and I don't know if you can tell, but I really enjoy doing it. So if you enjoy watching, like and subscribe, that's great. And until then, I'll talk to you next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you.